I like how every cover of the book features the Eagles, except this one.
Argofont Book Review, Argofont Book Review.
Case 1. Mike has shot several golden eagles on a western cliff. Mike claims he wasn't shooting things with his rifle, he was just admiring the full moon with his rifle. Mike and Encyclopedia debate gun control for a bit before Encyclopedia calls him a liar. Why? There is no full moon on February 14th. Okay, I'm just kidding, but that totally sounds like an Encyclopedia Brown solution. The real solution is that the moon rises in the east, not the west. Case 2. Bugs Meany claims he can hypnotize lobsters. There's a picture of Bugs waving his hands over a red lobster. He's holding it by its tail, and it's not moving. Encyclopedia says it's a fake. Why? If a lobster is red, it's been boiled alive, so the lobster in the picture was already dead. The survey says kids can't be expected to know this. Case 3. Bugs Meany claims Encyclopedia is messing around with parking meters. He has a reel of film which shows the crime. Bugs says Sally stole the film right after he finished watching it. They all watch the film together with the police. The first part is Bugs and his friends goofing off, while the last part is someone messing with parking meters. Encyclopedia says the film is a phony. Why? The film started at the beginning, even though Bugs didn't have a chance to rewind it. Therefore, he never watched the film to begin with. That doesn't prove Encyclopedia is innocent of messing with parking meters, but let's pretend it does. Case 4. Mr. King is a magician who loves playing cards so much he has framed pictures of them on his wall. Seems strange to me, but at least it's a harmless hobby, unlike other hobbies we've seen in this series. He has 4 sons. His will challenges the kings to find the odd king. One son has light hair, one has no mustache, one is short, and one has glasses. Who is the odd king? The one with no mustache! The King of Hearts has no mustache, therefore he is the odd one. This makes very little sense, and the internet agrees this is a bad solution. Case 5. I remember this case from when I was a kid because it's annoying. Encyclopedia and Sally go to a restaurant. The culprits are a man and a woman at a table for 2 against the wall. The man has his back to the wall while the woman faces him. The culprits leave the restaurant. After this, somebody attacks a woman in the ladies' restroom. Please note the continuity error. The culprits already left the restaurant. They could not have committed a crime in the restaurant when they were not there. So right away, 0 points for this case. Let's pretend the culprits were there. How did they do it? A woman couldn't have knocked the victim unconscious with 1 punch, and a man couldn't have entered the women's room. Sally scoffs at Encyclopedia and the police for not solving the case on their own. Clearly, they don't know their manners. What does she know? The solution is that only women should have their backs to a wall. Since a man had his back to a wall, he must have been a woman in disguise. Therefore, the culprits were dressed up in each other's clothes. That way the man could sneak into the woman's room and knock out the victim. I have never heard of this only women can sit against a wall rule. It sounds like it was made up just for this case. Seriously, you can't assume that a man sitting against a wall has to be a woman in disguise. Survey says, yes, this is total nonsense. Case 6. Butch Mulligan is beating up Bugs Meany and the Tigers. The fight started over some old calendars left behind by a math teacher. Bugs says they were told to divide the 25 calendars by half. Encyclopedia says it's a fake. Why? A math teacher would never say divide by half, because 25 divided by 1/2 is 50. The teacher would have said split in half, or divide by 2. Survey says yes, and the vote was just shy of a 2/3 majority. Case 7. There is a worm racing competition. Hoger hides his worm inside a foot-long tube where no one else can see it. He looks inside and pretends the worm is moving quickly up and down the tube. After a while, he says the worm has gone 5 feet, and he pulls it out. How can we prove he lied? The tube is 1 foot long. If the worm traveled along the tube 5 times, it would have come out the opposite end. Case 8. Someone robs a stamp collector at a costume party. A small piece of curved glass is found at the crime scene. The culprit must have broken their glasses during the robbery. The suspects are a two-person horse, Sherlock Holmes, a flirty ballerina, Tipsy Humpty Dumpty, and a masked cowboy. Who did it? Sherlock Holmes. The glass was from his magnifying glass, not a pair of glasses. There was no magnifying glass by the stamp collection, which is a nice clue if you manage to pick up on it. Still, I think this case was just an excuse to say, Sherlock Holmes is a culprit, ha ha! Case 9. Wilfred Wiggins has invented a gasoline pill. One small pill will fill an entire tank. Wilfred says he's going to spend the next year in Brazil perfecting the invention. Encyclopedia checks Wilfred's wallet to make sure. Inside is a driver's license, a claim ticket from the shoemakers, an old theater stub, 3 stamps, and $7. Encyclopedia says Wilfred is lying. Why? He has a claim ticket. He's clearly planning to be in town next week to claim his shoes, so he's lying about leaving for a year. I have to wonder, how did Wilfred expect to get away with this scheme? Was he going to hide inside his house for a year, or what? Case 10. This case is all about the red herrings. Bugs' friends are playing football on Hilda Street. Hilda shoots flies with rubber bands, and she feeds them to her pet frog. The frog lives inside a birdhouse. It is now too big to get out. Not a single thing I've told you is relevant to the case. Here's the real mystery. Encyclopedia gets sugar from the pantry. He has to pound on the door because he gets stuck easily. The culprit traps him and Sally inside the pantry and steals money. Encyclopedia bangs on the door until Cousin Lois says she's coming to let them out. Hilda claims she was upstairs the whole time. Who is the thief? Lois is the thief. She knew they were banging on the door to get out of the pantry, not into the pantry, so she knew ahead of time Encyclopedia was locked inside. I'm only giving the case half a point, because there was a 2-minute gap. It's reasonable for Lois to assume that, after 2 minutes, Encyclopedia had already gotten inside. Oh, ouch, not a good book. 2 cases got 0 points, 3 cases got a half point. I took issue with half of the book. I give Encyclopedia Brown number 12, Encyclopedia Brown and the Case of the Dead Eagles, a 6.5 out of 10.